Day in the life of me and my gardening world. We are about to be making two trellises today. We're going to be planting broccoli into the garden. It's already started growing. And we also going to be planting some seeds of beets and tomatoes. But let's get to this first trellis. It's my style trellis. What I'm going to end up doing is at the bottom as the plant grow, I'm going to be putting like some twine to get it started. And then in the middle, I'm using chicken wire to catch it from the bottom up. Hopefully that kind of makes sense because as you can see, that is a nice size pole, but the way the chicken wire is, it don't go all the way to the ground and all the way to the top of the pole. So we're going to be going from the top of the pole to the middle of the pole, and then the bottom, we're going to be starting it off with that twine. And so this is a struggle because I don't really have so much of an idea what I'm doing with these large poles because I haven't done chicken wire on them. Like I said, I just get out here and I just learn on the fly. Now the other trellis that I'm going to be doing, it is completely different, but you'll see that later in the video. I'm going to be using these things that I already have at home. Like I said, this year is going to be the year where I'm using things that I already have before I go to the store. Oftentimes, when my mind think of ideas, I run straight to the store and start buying stuff. And then when I come back, I have duplicates of things that I already got. So just to make sure that I'm not doing that this year, I'm going to always use what I have and then go get whatever it is that I need. Just to find out that I brought something that I already had, it just shows that I was just wasting money. But the purpose of this trellis is to support climbing plants. Now, on this trellis right here, I'm still trying to decide. I know it's going to be summer before it be winter again. But I like the winter spaghetti squash, and I'm going to try to grow that in Florida in this season. So yeah, we're going to have some winter spaghetti squash, and I'm trying to think if I'm going to split it in half and do something else with it. I'm thinking maybe cucumbers or something. Still trying to think on what is exactly that I'm going to be planning here. But this is going to be the foundation of something that is climbing up. Cucumbers is something that's in that far right that I'm going to be showing you that I'm actually headed to right now. So I always be experimenting. Right now I have some bamboo sticks. I put a piece of chicken wire on it, and I'm just trying to see if I can just add it to the smaller poles that I got there, but it's not long enough. And as you're going to see, I'm just trying to stretch it out. It's not working. But if you don't already know, cucumbers climb with tendrils. It's like these little things that wrap around anything that it can find. So it is important to have something tall enough so that it continue to climb up. And in the long run, it'll be more beneficial and healthier for the cucumbers to give you a nice harvest. My cucumbers is growing on my homemade trellis, and as you're going to see the final result here soon, it's going to be completely different than what it is I'm trying. So that didn't work, so then I took it off the bamboo sticks. Now let's just try to see if it's long enough and if it's going to stand up. And it requires something else to be able to hold it up, so this isn't going to work. Back to the drawing board, and I just let my mind flow and see what I come up with. Now, this was supposed to be the bamboo stick holding up the chicken wire, and look what it turned out to be. I don't stress about nothing. I just go with the flow. Well, and there you see, it fell down and my mind just went somewhere else. You know what? Let me just do this. Let me get all these bamboo sticks and bring them in together, and we're going to make an upward trellis like that. And as it continue to climb, I may end up having to do another one on the side, but we'll see. We'll deal with that once we get to that part. But for right now, it has some room for the cucumbers to grow upwards. And doing so will be beneficial. It is very easy to pick your harvest with the trellis. It is also better air circulation, which prevents disease. Also, some of the cucumbers at the bottom, if they start touching the ground, they can start rotting out. You don't have to worry about that once you get them up off that ground and have them hanging from that trellis. So that trellis is what it is. However, you trellis it up as long as it can hold what it is that's needed. And you can always make adjustments. Like I said, right now, this is going to work until it don't work. And we're using 2 bamboo sticks to do what we're doing right now. The other one, I just used 2 wooden poles, chicken wire, and we're going to use some twine at the bottom. This is why I say get out in your garden and just get lost in it. Do whatever your heart desire, and you will learn new ways and new strategies. It is a lot of things that you can buy that's already, trellised up and different things, or you can be creative. It's so cool to see how you create something from scratch to now. Like me stepping back and looking at the garden from how I first started out gardening to how it's just came out over time. It's just amazing to see the results. And I had no idea. I didn't write nothing down. I didn't say, oh, I want my garden to look like this or that. I literally just got out there every single day and I just did a little bit at a time. And I just look at the end of the day like, wow, I just did this. And then every single day I would just let my mind flow and continue to just be creative. And this is what it's turned out to be. It is just cool to really just see how things work out. Now, this is going to be the 4th and last bamboo stick that I'm going to be using right now. And I'm just tying them all at the top, zip tying it. And we're going to see what that looked like right now once we start getting the cucumbers to grow up, and then know what it is that we need to make adjustments, because I do this on the fly. And like I be saying, there is no blueprint that I know of outside of you learning what works in your yard, because what works in your yard may not work in my yard, and vice versa. We just have to learn to be creative and have fun, whatever that looks like. We just have to learn how to have fun and be free. This is a very peaceful space for me to just be creative, just to get away from the rest of the world and whatever is going on for just a little bit of time out the day. No matter what I had going on today, I know that it's going to end with me out in this garden, chilling, relaxing, kicking back, and doing whatever it is I need to do. And by me doing a little bit every day, especially as we starting to now in January get prepared for our spring garden, just doing a little bit every day will allow me to be ahead of the game. So things will start growing. Once spring come, I already have the setup, to be able to grow whatever it is that I'm growing. And there you go. That's how it end up coming out. And maybe I'll put another one on the other side of that, but we'll see once we get there, like I say. But until then, there we go. I guess you can call that my bamboo cucumber setup for now. And we'll learn how that grow. I think we're going to take one of those pieces to kind of put it around so it can be trained to go up. Growing vertical also is great for space. It is very space saving for the cucumbers and for your garden. Now I had these 2 broccolis that I had here growing. I noticed that nothing would grow on this side, and I realized that the wood was higher on that side, and it was blocking the sun all day long. And so no sun was getting to the area, and that is the reason why it wasn't growing. Broccoli needs cool temperatures, but they also need water and some sun too. It wasn't getting no sun at all, so I've lowered that piece of wood on that side, and now the sun will be able to shine in certain parts of the day. I dug the wood down. The sun won't be blocking it, and we're going to reevaluate it, to see how it works, and we'll make adjustments as necessary. Just last week, I had cabbage in that area, and the cabbage wasn't growing. And I'm like, this is a space that I could be doing something with. And I just stepped back and I seen how the sun was angled, and boom, now I'm able to make adjustments on the fly. And we'll go back and we'll revisit it. We also need to do a little bit of spring planting, because we're going to do a little bit of what's for now. We're going to do a little bit for what's later, and all of it makes it easier once that time come, to just have it organized. One thing I love is to have the garden as organized as I can, as I'm continuing to grow things, as I'm phasing out things, as I'm letting seed grow. But this is my garden as it continues to expand. It's a lot more work that I'm doing. I'm using those sun blocking things at the top. I don't really like how it look, but I use that because in Florida we have strong winds, and sometimes, hurricane season and things like that. Those other things wouldn't work out for me in my yard because it'll just blow over. So now we got our beefsteak tomatoes, and we got some beets. That's what we're going to go ahead and get planted today. And it is going to be 6 in each container. And I think we're going to be putting 2 in each one of those. This is just how I be in the zone. I go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And so I just try to have a little bit of agenda, what it is that I want to accomplish, and to make it a lot easier so I won't just be bouncing all over the place. But I just do a little bit of gardening in different areas to make it easy overall. This will help in so many ways. My goal is to work smarter, not harder, by every means necessary. And once we get this planted, that's going to be it for today. And you'll be able to see how I really get out here in the yard every single day and do a little bit of planting, do a little bit of this, do a little bit of landscaping, do a little bit of structuring the garden as my mind think of different ideas. I want to maximize the space that I got and grow as much as I can. And whatever happens from that part happens. We are almost complete with planting these seeds, and I think we're about to get ready to head up out of here real soon. And so how I set myself up with already having the soil inside of these things is the other day, I just went ahead and put soil in several different ones. And that way, all I have to do is label it like I'm doing right now, and then put it in there, and that'll be it. And I try to do that to keep it organized and to know when I grow different things to make it helpful once I get ready to put it out into the garden. I'm going to be growing these not directly in the garden, just letting them grow a couple weeks and then put them out in the garden. But that's it. That's all. Until next time.